Michael English.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Michael, I can't tell you how we have looked forward. You're a legend. Truly. You had so many awards, Dove Awards, the Male Vocalist Award. When I read your story, tremendous story. And I want you to please share that story with us.
Well, when I was younger, I've been singing all my life, from my father and growing up, and I never really did much else but just sing. Go out on weekends and sing, and I'd go to school and I'd play a lot of baseball, and that's kind of was my life. And I got a chance to sing professionally, and I took the opportunity, and I went out and did it. Things kind of went just kind of slow for a while because I was in quartets, you know.
Right.
But when I got the opportunity
with the Gaithers,
right, with the Gaithers and the Goodmans,
yes,
and the Singing Americans, when I got the opportunity to go solo by myself, that's when things started to kind of blow up as far as my career in a good way. And I don't know how to explain it other than just I was not ready for it. I wasn't ready for all the things that was going on around me, because I had never really taken my Christianity serious enough, because all my worth, my self-worth, and everything was in how I sang and how I performed and how many standing ovations you got and how many records you sold. You know what I'm saying?
And how many tears you could jerk.
Exactly. Yeah. So so I had to get a better understanding what the love of God was all about, and I just didn't know. So I wasn't strong enough. When you're not reading the Word of God and you're not praying and doing the things like that, that's when Satan will come in and he'll tear you up every time.
You know, as I read your life story, I wonder if you ever really had a genuine, born-again, true experience with Christ before your fall from the peak.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I don't believe I did.
No, I didn't think so.
I don't believe I did. Because when people ask me, when were you saved, Michael? Well, I was 13. I didn't know exactly when it was. I remember having a revival and going up. But
you didn't have an easy upbringing.
No, it was tough. I mean, you know, my family always had me going to church and made me go to church and things like that, but yet there was a lot of other things going on.
I like what you say about people going to church and who wear facades, but your mother was was she an alcoholic?
Yes, she was, and it's hard for her to talk. My mother's a wonderful lady today, but yet still, sometimes it's hard for her, because when I talk about it, she thinks I'm saying to her that she wasn't a good mother. But my mother, through all of that, was a great mother, even through that, because she wasn't the kind of alcoholic to where she would fight and abusive. Yeah. She was a lover, but yet I knew it wasn't all my mother, and that alcohol.
But you weren't encouraged very much when you were young, even by your father.
No, my father was really tough on me, and he's the one that taught me more about that you had to get the standing ovations, and you had to get the people crying, and you had to do this. And he did the best he could at the time, and he felt that that's the way.
So here, Michael English is. He's at the pinnacle of his career. He's got everything. He's got fame. He's got fortune. He has everything in the world surrounding him. And suddenly, there comes an experience in your life that causes you to go to such incredible low depths. Is it possible to describe that experience?
You know, it's possible, but it's not possible to get as deep as you'd like, because it's just hard unless you live it.
Yeah.
You know, but the bottom line is, I had an affair with a background singer, and that affair just led to even more and more sin. And then I went to my management and record company and told them what was going on. We decided to just stop everything. you know. And then things kind of went downhill from there, I guess you'd say. They were trying to tell me, Michael, you just stay out for a year and do this and do this. But you know what? I was just not, I was not in a good place. I was tired of being told what to do because I'd always been told what to do all my life, and I was just not ready for that, you know. And so I just decided I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm going to go out and do pop music and forget it.
What made you give up all your awards? I mean, you had so many awards, and you turned those awards in, Dove Awards and
Well,
other awards.
yeah, it's the kind of thing, because it just happened.
Was there a spirit of guilt and
Oh yeah, absolutely,
shame
absolutely.
that came upon you?
I'd never felt so much shame in my life, because it was literally 2 days. I mean, I knew when I was winning the awards and the Dove Awards was happening. People have always told me they felt like something was wrong with me, because I knew at that point, even when I was accepting those awards, that I knew that it was soon going to be over. I knew it.
Wow.
And so, 3 days later, I'm turning my Dove Awards back in, because I was so ashamed, and that I felt like I didn't deserve them.
But you know, I don't know whether I should say this, but I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
Because, you know, the lifestyle of the people, most of them, I'm not saying all, but the greatest majority of those that are in fame and fortune and in the movies and popular, they live that kind of a life.
Oh, yeah.
So why did that experience cause you to not just say, well, you know, that's my lifestyle, and then go on?
You know, even though I don't think I really had a one-on-one relationship with Christ, my mom and dad, the best they could, taught me to do the right thing. And I believe it was instilled in me from an early age to try to do your best, to do good, to do right. And I have to give them the credit, even through the alcoholism and my father's anger and things like that.
Why did you migrate to what you call, you know, how low, I read it, how low can a person go? Why did you migrate to, how did you start drugs and pills and then even heroin and cocaine? Wow.
It started one afternoon after everything had happened to me. So everything was going on around me. Current Affair was this old
I remember it.
You remember that? It's like hard copy. They were knocking. I was staying at a condominium where someone had let me go to try to get away from the media, because the media was going crazy at the time. And so somebody had told them where I was. And so they're outside my door knocking. And they got that, looking out that peephole, there's that fuzzy microphone. So I'm just devastated, because I didn't know what my life was going to be next. I get the flu. And this is the honest to goodness truth. I get sick, and I'm all by myself. I'd never been alone by myself when I had the flu. I've always had my mother there or somebody there to nurse me back to health. And I called my mother. I said, Mama, I am so sick. And she says, well, you need to get some Tylenol in you and lay down. Well, to make a long story short, I find some medication that had Tylenol in it. It's an old medication that was of mine that I'd had a few months back from an operation on my jaw. And I had taken medication like that in years past.